Konbanwa minasan, or good evening. Welcome back to Aquatope Friday, or Saturday, or whenever you're watching this, but normally I upload this on Friday or Saturday. Kyou wa hajimeru mae ni, or before we begin today, I am still going to continue to thank you guys so much for all the amazing support of my anime content over the summer so far, but with that being said, I do need to transition into content updates. Between 180 and 200 subs, I'm going to be creating a second channel to be moving my gaming content over to there. I will be keeping anime content here on this main channel as pretty much the main content type. So nothing will be changing just because I have a second channel. I will still be uploading things, I will still be editing them as I usually do. They will just be in a different place. Furthermore, we are on the road to 250 subs by the end of the year and 1,000 subs by the time Anime Expo rolls around this time next year. So either we get really close to 1K, we hit it, or we break it. I will be cosplaying Inori Yuzuriha, the full cosplay at Anime Expo next year. I will be recording it and uploading the best moments. So first and foremost, make sure you are absolutely destroying the subscribe button, and as always, make sure to remember to leave a like, a comment, share the channel, and share the videos. And let's get right into Aquatope episode 5. After the little cliffhanger we had at the end of episode 4 last week, I was a little concerned. Fuuka's mom having shown up was both surprising and unsurprising considering the fact that she is her mother after all. Why would she not come and get her daughter? Besides that, episode 5 was a nice little diamond in the rough. There's still a lot that Fuuka and Kukuru will have to figure out, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So on to my initial thoughts and impressions now. I literally went, oh yeah, at the start of the episode after remembering how episode 4 ended. I really thought that was going to go a lot worse than it did. As a matter of fact, it actually went pretty well despite the hostile atmosphere in the beginning. However, keep in mind that Fuuka and Kukuru are technically adults. The age will be changing to 18 in Japan next year, so I felt like Kukuru telling Fuuka to run away because her mother was going to take her back home was a little childish and something more around the lines of what a 15 or 16-year-old would say. But I can understand the spur of the moment. There could have been better ways to go about trying to get Fuuka to stay at Gama Gama, but honestly, I think the way that things did go was fated. The sickly fish is just proof enough that Gama Gama is something unique and that Fuuka was brought there for a reason. Okay, so what about Fuuka this episode? If it's not obvious by now, we know where Fuuka's heart is. It really seems like Gama Gama has captivated Fuuka in a way that nothing else has. Just look at the way her mother wonders whether or not her daughter has always been that passionate. Unlike Kukuru, who had a fondness for aquariums since she was small, Fuuka was really just dropped into Kukuru's lap. It was like a perfect set of events. Her willingness to go along with what everyone else says, though, is a little concerning. Fuuka is too easily swayed by the people around her, and while I understand that to an extent, Fuuka needs to make her own decisions. Some might argue it's a nature versus nurture thing, but I think that's a bit of a weak argument. There's only so much you can do before you have to be the one making decisions for yourself. Although, as I mentioned earlier, the way things turned out for Fuuka in the end, I don't think could have been better. It really seems like everything came together to make sure she was where she was supposed to be, at Gama Gama. She's hardworking and passionate, and once she realizes that she has found a place to belong, it will be a very momentous occasion. Her mother sees it, which is why she didn't pack Fuuka up and bring her home immediately. She understood that Fuuka has a place with people that make her happy, which, as a parent, is all she wanted for her daughter. This now gives Fuuka a lot more room to grow instead of trying to run and hide from her problems. So what about Kukuru? Well, Kukuru is smart. She's already taught Fuuka so much that Fuuka herself has been able to pass on, and I don't think either of them really fully realize it yet. Well, I don't like the fact that Kukuru and Kai put the idea of running away, again, in Fuuka's head. It led to some real interesting next few minutes. Indirectly, Kukuru brought the fortune teller and Fuuka together again, just like the fortune teller brought Kukuru and Fuuka together. The teller is excited to see Fuuka again and is totally thrilled that her fortune was so accurate, that she, Fuuka, would have a great encounter with someone. It's clear that Kukuru is definitely a very loving soul, but her methods are a little misguided. For example, she should have approached Fuuka's mother in a professional manner and explained how much of a help Fuuka has been instead of trying to stall her and get her to drink. Eventually, she does take this approach, but it's not until the end of the episode. So clearly, Kukuru has some growing still to do, but she's getting there. She's a perfect match for Fuuka though. Yes, they're from two very different parts of the country, but their hearts really do seem to beat as one. Kukuru has definitely softened up on Fuuka since her first arrival and has shown herself to be a great leader in the day-to-day at Gama Gama. While she is still a little too childish at times, it may actually turn out to be more beneficial than anything, so long as she can perform her duties while she continues to draw ever so much closer to Fuuka in a way that works for both girls. As for relationships and world building, Fuuka seems to be coming to terms with her new life at Gama Gama, especially after getting the okay from her mother to continue there for the summer. Somehow, though, she is going to have to address what she's doing afterwards. Will she try and continue on at the aquarium? Will she try for her idol career back? Or is she going to take the schooling route? These questions are unfortunately too difficult to answer at this moment, being just 5 episodes in, but Fuuka is absolutely forming a new life she never expected to have. In some ways, a lot of this new world for both the girls will heavily rely upon what each of them decide to do and how their feelings about not just Gama Gama evolve, but their feelings about each other too. There's definitely something there, but what that something is, well, it's too soon to tell. And finally, this week's after credits scene. It was really nice having another after credits scene this week. Last week it was about Fuuka's mother. This week it's Fuuka and Kukuru trying to decide how to keep the momentum up and what's going to happen after August, when the new school term starts for Fuuka. The theme of being busy so you can forget about the things that bother you is pretty predominant in this episode, but at the very end Fuuka pushes aside the unknowns and decides she wants to focus on what's ahead, the future, in which I wholeheartedly support. There's still a long ways to go, but just what the future holds is still a mystery. I am now really excited to see where the anime goes after this week, starting with next week's episode 6. There's honestly so much uncapped potential with this anime now that whatever happens next, it probably will surprise me. But with that all being said, I'm going to wrap things up here. Remember, Fridays and Saturdays are always Aquatope Day. I'm really trying to push for Fridays, and I have for the last few weeks now, but if Fridays do not happen, Saturday is always the backup Aquatope upload day. And finally, remember we are on that 250 sub goal for the end of the year, and that 1K sub goal for Anime Expo next year for 2022, where I will cosplay as Inori Yuzuriha, the entire cosplay, and I will upload and record the best moments. Alright, well, that's all I got. Like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, share the video, and I'll see you guys next week. Peace.